Coronation Street's Theo shocks Todd with a surprise wedding twist. Is Todd about to be pressured into marrying the man who abused him? Next week in Coronation Street, Todd Grimshaw is left stunned when Theo Silverton springs an unexpected wedding plan on him. Refusing to let go, controlling Theo admits he never called off their ceremony after their breakup and urges Todd to reconcile and go ahead with the marriage. But can Todd truly break free from Theo's grip? At the start of the week, Todd gets ready for the marathon he has been preparing for over the past few months. Unbeknownst to him, Theo has secretly drugged him the previous night and turned off his alarm. On race day, Theo heads to the starting line and falsely tells Todd's friends that he knocked on his door but got no answer, assuming Todd had already left. Meanwhile, Todd wakes up at home feeling groggy and panicked when he notices the time and realizes he has completely missed the race. Later, Theo returns proudly with a medal, while a humiliated Todd keeps out of sight. Pretending to check on him, Theo visits Todd and finds him devastated, believing he simply overslept. Taking advantage of the situation, Theo comforts Todd, assuring him it wasn't his fault and promising to always be there for him despite their breakup. Emotionally vulnerable, Todd lets his guard down and allows Theo back into his life. George becomes deeply concerned upon hearing that Todd might give Theo another chance and carefully voices his worries. Still influenced by Theo's manipulation, Todd struggles to see the truth. Will he listen to his friend? Gareth Pierce, who plays Todd, explains, Todd refuses to accept that Theo is bad for him when George points it out. George understands what Todd is going through, but Todd becomes defensive and even starts justifying Theo's actions. Fearing they might push Todd further away, George advises Christina Boyd that they must be cautious in how they approach the situation. At the same time, Theo reveals to Gary Windus that he has devised a plan to win Todd back for good. The next day, Theo tells Todd he has arranged a surprise. He takes him to an unknown location, which turns out to be the registry office. There, Theo reveals that their wedding was meant to happen that day, and he never canceled it, meaning they can still get married immediately. With Gary and Maria Connor acting as witnesses, will Todd be forced into saying, "I do"? Coronation Street's Will actor almost played a completely different role. Find out who. Coronation Street actor Lucas Hodgson Whale has shared that he initially tried out for another character before eventually being cast as Will Driscoll. The young character made his debut on the cobbles last year with his father Ben, brother Ollie, Ben's partner Eva Price, and her daughter Susie as they took over ownership of the Rover's return. Will has been heavily involved in a disturbing grooming storyline where he becomes entangled in a sexual relationship with his coach, Megan Walsh. However, the actor has now revealed that his first audition was actually for a different part. My agent first submitted a self-tape for the role of Theo Silverton's son, Miles. I completed the audition, but unfortunately I didn't get the part, Hodgson Whale explained. The character of Miles was eventually portrayed by Lewis William Magee, but Hodgson Whale wasn't out of the running for long, as another opportunity soon came his way with the Coronation Street casting team. A few months later, I received another audition request for Corrie and thought, right, let's give this another shot. I read through Will's script and sent in a new tape, he said. He also shared a memorable moment tied to landing the role. What's funny is that I flew out to the Dominican Republic the day after my screen test. I was relaxing by the pool when my agent rang to tell me I'd been cast. It made the entire holiday feel like one big celebration. Regarding Will's intense storyline with Megan, the plot is set to reach a dramatic turning point in the coming weeks. Leanne Battersby begins to suspect that the coach is being unfaithful to Daniel Osborne, especially after Sam Blakeman notices something isn't right and is being pressured by Megan to stay quiet. Once everything comes to light, Ben and Eva are determined to do whatever they can to shield Will from his coach, who is now revealed to be pregnant with his child. With Megan hinted as a possible murder victim in a recent flash-forward, could the Driscoll family's quest for justice take a deadly turn? At the same time, the show will revisit Tim Metcalf's past grooming storyline, as his former abuser Trisha Marlowe is set to make a return to the cobbles. Suspicions deepen in Coronation Street early ITVX episode as Megan Walsh intimidates Sam Blakeman in hospital. Tension is mounting around manipulative child groomer Megan Walsh, Beth Nixon, in Coronation Street, as one resident begins to notice a strange encounter between her and Sam Blakeman, Jude Riordan. As fans of the ITV soap are aware, Weatherfield High teacher Megan has been secretly involved with her student Will Driscoll, Lucas Hodgson Whale, and is now pregnant with his child. Sam, who is in the same class, quickly picked up on their unusual closeness. After overhearing another student mention their past connection, he raised concerns. However, Will angrily dismissed the claims, insisting the other pupil had a crush on Megan and was making things up. Determined to silence Sam, Megan warned him that no one would believe his so-called lies. Hoping to prove the truth, Sam tried to gather evidence by secretly installing a CCTV camera in her flat. Megan soon discovered his plan, staged a misleading situation with Will, and then accused Sam of voyeurism. Under pressure, Sam has since developed an unhealthy reliance on medication, taking ADHD pills he obtained at school to cope with his growing stress. This troubling behavior became evident in today's episode when Nina Lucas, Molly Gallagher, noticed something was off with him at the cafe. He left his food untouched, appeared shaky, and she assumed he may have consumed too much caffeine. When Eva Price, Catherine Tildesley, approached him, Sam suddenly panicked upon seeing Megan in the doorway. He rushed outside in fear and collapsed on the cobbles. At the hospital, his father, Nick Tilsley, Ben Price, was shocked to learn Sam had taken drugs, as it was completely out of character. Leanne Battersby, Jane Danson, suspected there was more to the situation and became determined to uncover the truth. Meanwhile, Will was devastated to hear that Sam had been admitted to hospital and blamed himself. Megan reassured him that she would handle the situation and headed to the ward. Sam had already convinced Nick and Leanne that exam stress was overwhelming him and that he simply needed rest. When Leanne stepped away to get coffee, Megan urged Nick to leave as well, giving her a chance to confront Sam privately. Sam was stunned to see her sitting across from him and nervously agreed as she pressured him into promising silence about everything. Unbeknownst to Megan, Leanne was observing from outside the room and could clearly see just how frightened her former stepson truly was. ITV Coronation Street star Sidney Martin leaves fans stunned with bold new look. Fans were quick to ask, "Will you get in trouble?" after Betsy Swain actress Sidney Martin revealed a dramatic change to her appearance. The 24-year-old Coronation Street star, widely recognized for playing Betsy Swain since joining the Cobbles 2 years ago, surprised followers by debuting a completely different hair color. Known on screen as the daughter of DS Lisa Swain and famous for her signature blonde hair, Sidney has now switched things up by going brunette,